Alright, hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to my channel, The Burger Thought, and welcome back to another day of Inktober 2020. So, as mentioned on the 2nd, I had to skip yesterday. Yesterday was bulk, and today is radio. So we're going to do both in one particular picture. We are going to combine bulk and radio, and we're going to do so. And once again, a mad scientist themed idea. What do mad scientists do in their spare time? What do they do? Do they play Minecraft? Do they troll people in Among Us? Do they actually do their work and experiment on stuff? We don't know. We don't know yet. But we'll come up with something interesting today, hopefully. They do the mash. They do the monster mash. It seems the chat is working well. Hello, JT Marvelman. JT Marvelman. Thank you for joining me as usual. And yeah, I say the chat's working well because on Friday, I believe Red Spectra was saying that the chat was acting funny. It wasn't showing the chat until you type something after the fact, which is why he kept having to type asterisks after he was sending me messages. Don't know. But anyway, let's get to this. Boom, 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 boom. Just gotta think of the pose. I know what I want. Gotta think of a pose. Put out Spider-Man for this. Do. Among Us, the video game, is very popular right now, and I know this might come off a little bit like an Among Us homage, but it's not. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe subconsciously I'm thinking about it. So let's put... So he has a belt. He has a big fat belt. Originally I was thinking for bulk, kind of going with those old school deep sea diving suits with the big helmets. Okay. So he's carrying around this big old, I forget what they call it, like the trucker radios. He has like one of those. He's lugging around with him. There's one of those scientists who's stuck with like all he has is old equipment from freaking 1970. You got big old honking boots. Hopefully, once I get in there with just lots and lots of ink and shading and whatnot, it'll look a lot better. Right now, this is not what I was going for in terms of scale. Mm-mm-mm. So he's probably not a main scientist. He's probably like one of the simple workers. that gets paid way too little for what he needs to do, and he's right now just exploring the inner depths of Lab 37. Lab 37 was abandoned many years ago for reasons that are top secret. So it's a weird looking flower that has a bunch of thorns on it. Ugh, God, no, not a minion. I mean, he is wearing yellow. Well, I guess orange, I guess. Oh, so JT, since I have you in the chat, I got kind of hyped, more on nostalgia sake. I saw a trailer for it. This pen's right now. I saw a trailer for an upcoming movie. Chris Rock was voicing the main character, or rather, he was the main narrator, if that makes sense. He was the narration, and it turns out they're making a new version of The Witches, which is a really underrated movie in my opinion. I actually found it on DVD, a singular DVD box. I was kind of hyped because I remember explicitly having nightmares when I was little of that movie. That movie's so twisted, but I love it so much. It has that. I love how with enough editing, any song could come off creepy. It has a song, "I'll be there," but they make it sound creepier and creepier as the trailer goes on. Yeah, that movie had some great visual effects. Was it Jim Henson, by the way? I can't remember. It feels like it would have been a Jim Henson kind of thing. There you go. Just put a bunch of nice crisscrossing marks. Kind of helps hide enough loose cross hatching helps hide my really bad line work. Hey Red, good to have you. So, Red, I was attempting to give um, Rex over here a really quick crash course in the setup of OBS. But strange enough, setting up OBS for Twitch is so much easier than trying to do it for YouTube. Like YouTube just wouldn't like link to it correctly and stuff. So at the very least, JT and I managed to managed to go via phone. I gave him the basic kind of steps that I learned so far, which is funny, seeing how I shouldn't be teaching anyone how to use OBS. But if I could figure some stuff out, I'm sure he can too. OBS is easy to use, but I notice when you're getting ready for Twitch, OBS gives you a window that lets you get the title and everything ready for Twitch. But when JT Marvel tried to do it after hooking up his YouTube account, like it wouldn't give him the options to like set up the information. I think YouTube wants you to do all that on YouTube first. It's weird. Then again, we were doing it over the phone, so maybe I was misunderstanding him or vice versa. I don't know. Oh, so gentlemen, um, as maybe noted from Friday, I had the orc over at my house. He was kind of laying back on my sofa, doing inappropriate commentary, which I love him for. With that being said, he suggested something that JT suggested. We should try and definitely do a get together for Halloween for a movie night. However, I said we should look up some really crappy movies and just laugh through it. Because you know me, I love to talk, but I don't like talking during good films. When I'm watching a film, I stay quiet. But if we could sit back and watch a really crappy film for Halloween, that would be fun. All right, let's see what we got here. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, my hand is shaky as heck today. Don't know why. Just not getting. I feel like I'm rushing everything. Don't know what it is. Okay, so you have this guy. He's. Let me see. So we have this guy, right? And here he is, being forced to lug around his whole fat butt inside this suit of his. And he's discovering some weird stuff in the deep, deep underground labs of, I forget what number I said earlier. Let us do. He needs. You see, kids, back in the day, telephones and whatnot had big, long cords like this. You had to, and if you were lucky, your family had a phone with a long, long cord, so you didn't have to deal with your younger brothers and sisters. You just take that phone and disappear two rooms away. They were called landlines back in my day. You know what? Just because Marvel Man reminded me of it, there you go. $37. I think it was Red Spectre and myself who were talking. We saw the technique used by various traditional artists of how they get all these patterns and stuff in their drawings, like especially in like Japanese manga, flower patterns on dresses, and it's a type of paper that they put on, and then they cut away the negative space and peel it off. And it was just like, oh, is that how is it like really old school kind of way of doing it that they still kind of do, just to get like flower backgrounds and like dresses with weird gradations and everything. Zipatone. They have to chat. Zipatone. I gotta look that up. Oh, had to drop down my my computer table. Sorry, my computer chair. I found myself hunching all of a sudden. The whole reason I have this setup is so I don't hunch. Let's see. Let's switch this out for a smaller one and do all the fine little details. And then I'll add the last coup de grace that kind of brings the picture together. It's a secret though. Yes, Red Spectra definitely aid in his setup, maybe my setup. We will utilize your knowledge and skill to the utmost fullest. There we go. So I kind of cheat. I use different thickness of markers, or rather, these pens, for the cross hatching. So rather than just use cross hatching by itself to get the darkness, I allow the pens to do half the work for me. As mentioned in a previous stream, I always find it funny when the person who is not doing well is named Steve, just to have someone scream out, "Steve, no!" I don't know why. I just always found that to be a funny name. I think it calls back to like some old. I think it was like an Animal Planet commercial with the freaking. I think it was like a talking beaver or something. Steve, Steve, Steve. That's not Steve. Alan! Alan! That was it. We'll just start screaming Alan afterwards. So, at my job, the highly skilled, highly trained, and by highly skilled, highly trained, I mean people who've actually taken the test, who handle pesticides at my job. There are different, there are different level suits they have to wear when handling said pesticides. T.R.I.X suits. But there is one that's like almost like this. Like it's a full suit, and if you really wanted to, you could wear the helmet. Like if you're someone who has like breathing problems, they have like the full helmet that you could like utilize. Nothing scares away visitors more than seeing some dude walk by them going, "Hello everyone, please stand by, I'm spraying the roses." As you notice, unlike the first stream, I'm not playing any kind of music because even though the music was literally being played off of my TV from a like open radio station, half of my first video was muted due to copyright. So I probably won't be playing music. Normally, I play spooky music in the background, but since I'm using my secondary device for the sake of making sure I'm coming across clearly, sadly there'll be no spooky music right now. I gotta find out with like what like stores use. You know how stores have like their own like little radio station they tune into, so they could play like just background ambient music. We went to the Blaze. It's called like the Pumpkin Blaze. We went to that yesterday for Mama Burgos' birthday celebration, and they had all this nice and they have all this nice little ambient sound. It's not all spooky music. It's just ambient noise, and that's what I really need to find to play in the background of these videos. Check out the chat for a minute. What's going on, guys? Let's see. Lead boots, yes. You joke about the random X's. I gotta show you. There is a series of painted marks showing up everywhere. I don't want to draw it because I don't know what it is. But it's a series of painted spray paint marks showing up everywhere around my neighborhood. And I think I traced it down to one location. Over here, 194 in the Bronx, there is a construction site, and across all the walls, someone has gone around with like a white marker and just done the same little symbol over and over and over, and other symbols similar to it over and over. And at first I thought it was Japanese or Korean, and I was like, no, these just look like random symbols repeated over and over again by some nut job. And it's all over. I wouldn't mind it if it was just all over the construction site and some guy had a little white marker doing it. But now I'm seeing it as like spray paint markings on blocks and on sidewalks. And no one knows what the heck it is or why this person's doing it. It's obviously one person going around. In fact, JT and Red Spectra, I will in fact send you an image of what I'm talking about. I took photographs of it on my phone to show the orc, and even the orc was like, I don't know, man. Maybe some magical ruins. It's like there's a ghetto wizard walking around the Bronx. Whoa, Doc, you mean to tell me this thing's nuclear? Spooky, spooky skeletons. I'm just right now adding some random wrinkles to kind of like really exaggerate the chunkiness of the suit. Thank you, JT. You instantly caught the reference for that. Thank you so much. I love this guy. I find it interesting, and I cross my fingers that they don't do this. But I find it interesting, like, you know, Ghostbusters, huge phenomenon, cartoon, toys, etc. They made sequels, they made remakes, and now they're making another sequel that, thanks to Corona, I'm afraid it's going to fall to the wayside by the time it actually premieres. But Back to the Future, people are like, no, leave it. We don't want a remake. We don't want a sequel. Like, a video game? Yeah, you can make a video game. You can make a video game about it, but don't try and redo it. It's fine the way it is. Please. Let us have this. You know, rather than have him float in the void of space. That's for another picture. Let's put this intrepid explorer on the ground. It's Jersey. Welcome to New Jersey. Inktober 2020. So this is the 3rd and 4th. This is bulk and radio. Done in blue pen because I'm an idiot. But that's okay. Get a slight up close for now. Woo! See if it stays in focus. Takes a minute to see the result on the live stream. Not bad. Alright guys. So that ends Inktober for tonight. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me, and everyone in the future who will be watching this, thank you for joining me as well. We will continue, once again, every weekday and weekend, when possible, at 8:30 right here on Twitch. And if you miss it on Twitch, you will see the videos slightly edited and put on YouTube after the fact. And after the fact meaning once I get my new editing program up and running. So, anyway guys, once again, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see all of you in the future. Later.